Right guys, we have new tidbits regarding the M2 iPads, so let's delve into it. So of course there's been tons of talk regarding MagSafe on these iPads, and while those rumours have kinda died down recently because we have case listings for these iPads and they're reverse compatible with the 2021 models, and so the lack of a thicker chassis means we're likely not getting MagSafe. But now we have a source telling us that no, we should still see MagSafe on the back, but more interestingly, we could see MagSafe on the sides, aka the Mac version. So yes, both a MagSafe ring on the back for wireless charging and of course, reverse charging for this iPad, and also possibly a MagSafe port on the sides that allows for faster charging and also frees up the USB-C port. And while I do kinda have my doubts because that would be very confusing marketing wise. Imagine having two completely different features under the same name on the same product. That would be very confusing to market, and I honestly don't think we need both on the iPad. And yeah, out of those, I guess Apple giving us a Mac form of MagSafe makes more sense, since that would not drastically increase the thickness of the device, but it would give the iPad faster charging like the Macs, and also frees up the Type-C ports for peripherals. So yeah, that's my thoughts on this leak. I doubt we're gonna get two forms of MagSafe. Anyways, moving on to shipping times for the M1 iPads, they are slipping now, which of course could mean we are going to see the M2 iPads launch in just a few weeks. And actually, a friend of the channel, James, did hear some murmurs about the iPads releasing on the 31st, and so now looking at the shipping dates, I could see Apple announcing the iPads on the 24th via, of course, a press release, and then the iPads are available to buy the following week on the 31st. Also thought I'd mention, but I did notice that Apple removed the M1 iPad Pro ad from their official YouTube site, and so that does usually suggest a new version of the product is about to launch, and so that could be our first sign the M2 iPad Pros are launching very soon. Anyways, moving on to the rear cameras with the iPad Pros, something I think most people do not care about, but anyways, there has been rumours regarding upgrades to this, including the iPhone 13 cameras coming to this iPad, so that means a new diagonal layout with sensor shift stabilization, which is kinda overkill for the iPad. But of course, these rumours all came crumbling down when, of course, 2022 iPad Pro cases were reverse compatible with the 2021 models, and so that does suggest the camera bump is going to be the same size, and I doubt we're going to get sensor shift stabilization without, of course, a larger camera bump. That's what happened with the iPhones when they got the tech, and so yeah, maybe we're not going to get any camera upgrades, though as I said, I could care less about this. However, what's conflicting is that we do have another report suggesting we could see triple cameras with the iPad Pros. This was suggested to be the case with the 2020 models. In fact, many leaks had them, but that was not the case, and I still doubt that's going to be the case, since we don't need triple cameras on the back of the iPad. Like seriously, most people taking pictures on the iPads are doing it for work or scanning documents. There are not many people doing proper photography with iPads. They do that with the iPhones instead. And so yes, I do strongly think there's not going to be any camera upgrades with this year's iPads. Anyways, let's delve into your questions. So Satish says, no Apple Pencil 3? Well, to be honest, we're not sure because there just has not been enough rumours about the new iPads and any new accessories. But I'm praying we do get one because the last refresh was back in 2018, and of course, we should get an update that has more features like more advanced gestures or a black finish. So Garden for Cat says, M2 iPad Pro is still overkill for iPadOS, and yes, I completely agree with this. The M2 chip is kinda unnecessary for the iPads, and if that's the only upgrades, then yeah, this refresh is gonna be pointless. Now Tom says, I would be happy with no hardware change if we got announcements for actual Pro apps, and yeah, this would definitely make up for the lack of hardware changes. In fact, I would say the iPad hardware-wise is kind of perfect. We really just need software upgrades on the iPads, and so giving us Pro apps and of course more macOS-like features would be the right move. And yeah, I'm still praying that's going to be the case, but I guess Apple's worried about the iPads cannibalizing the Mac if it gets too many software features. So David says, like last year, I would have bought the 11-inch if it got the mini LED upgrades, not buying until it does. And I can understand that as a fan of the 11-inch, I do prefer that size, and so it's a real shame that Apple's neglecting it and not giving it any major upgrades. I mean, take a look at the iPhone Pros and the MacBook Pros. Both sizes have the same features, and so why can't we see that with the iPads? So Cam says, I don't think iPads really need a camera in the first place. I have never used my cameras on the iPad mini and the 11-inch iPad. And yeah, I'm sure that's the case for many consumers. We don't use our cameras a lot, and the most we're going to do with iPad cameras is to scan documents. And so yeah, I would much prefer Apple get rid of the advanced cameras we have with the iPad Pros and just go back to a regular single lens camera on the back with no camera bump. So Hayes is waiting for the camera on the front to be moved to landscape orientation. And yeah, many of you guys have expressed you want this over the last few weeks. I can understand that, and I think the introduction of Dynamic Island on the iPads could give us this. So Lennart says, I'm on the 12.9-inch M1 at the moment, and I would love to see a mini LED 11-inch, because the 12.9-inch is too big to be a companion device for the MacBook, and yes, I'm in the same boat. My Mac cannot be replaced by an iPad, so of course, having the smaller 11-inch size is nice to have alongside a MacBook, but of course, without mini LED, there's really no point getting this. You could just get the M1 version for less. And so I'm praying that all these leaks and case listings are false, and Apple does surprise us with mini LED on the 11-inch size. So Evan Rogers says it's shocking if Apple does not update the OG iPads annually going forward. And yes, I'm pretty sure that Apple is going to continue giving us annual updates with this iPad because it is their most popular iPad, and so constantly refreshing this with new features is important. And yes, I know the iPad 10 was supposed to release at the September event like they usually do, but of course there's been iPad supply issues, and with a redesign I'm sure it's tougher to produce, and so this year's the exception, not the rule, so do expect the iPad 11 to release in September 2023. So KV Warrior says, what should I do, buy M1 2021 or wait for this? And I personally think it's better to wait because we are only a few weeks away from the release, and of course if the M2 iPads are disappointing you can always get the M1 models for less. And yes, I know there are already a ton of good deals on the M1 iPads, but I'm sure the prices are going to drop further once of course we see the M2 iPads. Anyways, that's about it, but of course tell me your thoughts regarding these reports in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching guys, make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the link above on details regarding the iPhone 15 series, and on that note, see ya peeps.